If you play any mill deck, it's pretty much game for Ancient Box. Nah, because like mill just bricks itself, right? You just knock out the Great Tusks and call it a day. To be honest, if the deciding factor on playing a deck was how it plays against mill, I'm already in a bad position in my deck choices, because I do not care about my matchup into mill. I barely care about my matchup into stall, to be honest. I just don't think it's worth worrying about. As long as it's decent to good against the main three, it's whatever after that. The opening hand came up, and for a hot second I was like, what the hell am I playing? Oh, that was so dumb.
How are you playing?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy? What would be your main three? It would be Lugia, Chien-Pao, Charizard. Every other matchup is like, do what you can, basically. But they're the three to worry about, because they're the biggest meta share. Although, arguably, maybe you're considering Roaring Moon a little bit more now. But I think Roaring Moon's a very interesting one, because I think the surprise factor is what made that deck way more interesting. No hands. I just said no hands. I only think about it a bit. Yeah, Mill was like, what, less than 2% of EUIC? I don't know how it was in anywhere else. Like, it was just such a non-factor. One of them, and we'll take one of them, hold the onions. By the way, if you notice me misplaying here, it's because I don't know how to play the deck. Just a bit of change, you know? Sure, let's put you on there. And then click the right ability. Always happens if you click the right one. I think Guardian needs to be considered now, being day 2 and top in the past 2 tournaments. Yeah, I put it on my testing list. Like, not to play, but like to play against. It's definitely one to consider. It's not one I'd play, though. Like, I think if decks start running 2 Lost Vacuum, that deck's screwed. Same with Future Box, to be honest. Like, just, it doesn't do much. If you notice me misplaying it, is indeed because I suck at the deck. Sorry, I'm bad at the game. I apologize. I'm to be honest, I'm committing a real crime with these decks because I don't know any of these deck lists that I play that well. One of the things that kind of annoys me about like the current format is I haven't found a deck to settle on yet. I've got 2 or 3 that I want to play. Like Dungeons and Dragons is really good. I like Ancient Box. I like Future Hands. They're all decks to like consider, I think. Okay, I think we just go into what we need to go into, right? So I think we grab you. And then you. Watch him chat. He's figuring out in real time. Catch this. Ultra Ball. Getting rid of you and... I don't know if that's the right choice. Chat, you can obviously see what my considerations were, though. If you think that was the wrong call, let me know, and I will say, yep, you're probably right. Evolve that up. Search quickly. And we'll grab you. The more I play this deck, the more I'm like, do I just become one of these bots that plays Charizard? No, 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 not that one. Make sure we're getting the right cards here. And then our candy, it's rare. I don't see why you wouldn't power up the other Charmander. This is what I mean, chat. This deck always has everything. Actually insane. More God Sport next set. Oh, MFG, yes. I mean, deck is cheap and consistent. I don't see why not. We're talking about Charizard or God of War? Yeah, I don't know if Fezandipity is, like, that good. Because the majesty of, like, God of War was the fact you could use reversal energy. Like, Zacian couldn't, but it had enough health to back itself up. I just don't think we're in the same position with Fezandipity. I came up with a good deck. If it doesn't break, do you want to play me? But to be honest, that's every day. You're more than welcome to. Exclamation mark join in chat. That'll get you in the chat challenge queue. Currently, it is too strong. Not too strong, but it's too strong. There's two people. Not too... It's the ability of Fezandipity that will make it broken using Luminous Energy. Do you not think that makes the deck a little bit less consistent, running a Luminous or a Dark Energy? I mean, Luminous definitely makes more sense than Dark. But how are you finding the Luminous Energy? Would be my concern. Not really, it's the same as the Triple Energy. I know, but you ran like... So are you saying you'd run multiple of the energy? I'm just trying to understand. I'm not trying to say you're wrong or anything. I'm genuinely just trying to understand the logic. Run 2 to 3. Okay, fair enough. Might as well. 2 to 3 of all the capes and charms. Okay. So, what energy counts would you then be looking at? Because to me, you're running, what, 7 or 8 energy in God of War now? Because back in Cert Day, you had like 12 energy, didn't you? I don't know if the deck's still got room for all that. Yeah, like I said, it's just not a deck I'm that familiar with. I've played it a couple of times. I didn't enjoy playing it personally. It did feel like you had to play like a bit of a deck. Like you'd have to win a game in like 35 minutes and then go, alright, let's set up for game 2. And then become the world's slowest shuffler. Start the game with 10 minutes left, then get donked and go, cool, now I tie. Your experience may vary. I don't think it was that bad, but it wasn't a deck I enjoyed playing. And I've played it a couple of times on stream, the new version, and I get the logic behind it, but like I said, I think if decks start getting wise to God of War, you just run two vacuums and start just kicking ass, basically. 11 Psychic and 2-3 Luminous make Guardy a 4-3-2 count. Oof. Not if you're any good, lol. The slow play shufflers with Mega Cringe. Oh, I saw them all the time. They were awful for it. Like, it wasn't just the actions per turn situation going on. It was, yeah, people like to set up slow. It was, quite frustrating to watch. Right, where are we on? Takes us to 3, okay. There's a world where I do a very, very clever play here. Streamer, are you gonna do a clever play? Alright, chat. Bully me, I'm new here. Okay. So, shout out to Charizard, got to be my favourite card that lived. Knowing what's in this deck, I think we just go for the play. Yes, you're there. Perfect. Okay. There as well. Cool. A little bit risky, but I think I know the list, so I'm not too worried. Infernal Rain, Infernal Rain. Give me one of them bad boys of the internet. Pop Pop that in there. A little industrious incisors for one. Oh, very nice. Then burn it down. That's 180. Yeah, no, it's one of those decks that, like, I knew people that were really good at it. Like, you guys might know the name Demi or Dimitri Eaton. He plays in a lot of our locals. Our locals being, you know, hours away. Well, within an hour. So I got to watch him play God of War a lot, and I played against him a couple of times playing God of War, and just watching that happen is insane. My brain just can't comprehend doing that for 9 rounds of a tournament, plus another 6, plus a top 8. It's why part of me is kind of like, do I not go for Dinobox? Because there is a lot more sequencing and planning in that deck than I think a lot of people realize. And to be honest, Moon's also similar. Like, there's a lot of thought that has to go into that deck. But then you can play something like Future Hands, which isn't a simple deck to play, but it's easier, you know what I mean? And it's just like a bit more of a pleasant experience. Right, give me you and you. Pop that bad boy there. Yeah. Go from maining Shiny Arcana to Zard feels so effing easy. Dude, every time I play Zard, I wonder to myself why I don't just play Zard. It's such a stupidly easy deck to play. And I've spoken to people about this deck. I did that in the wrong order, I'm very aware. I've spoken to people about this deck, and they're like, oh, it's not as simple as you think, blah, 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 blah. And they're right. There are intricacies to this deck that, like, I don't fully understand. I get that. But on the surface, it is such a simple deck. Like, I'm misplaying like a motherfucker here, and I'm getting away with it. Because the deck will play itself to a point. Like, next turn, I don't think we can lose. Because we have Pidgeot and EX, Pidgeot EX to answer anything. Oh, bloody hell. I forgot they were in the deck. Now, because if you're shit at shuffling, it's apparent from the get-go. Oh, listen. People aren't necessarily shit at shuffling by choice. There's a lot of issues with people having dyspraxia and stuff like that in the community. So I don't begrudge anyone who's a slow shuffler or doesn't shuffle well. And I respect the people that will say to me, hey, I can't shuffle quickly or whatever. Can you do the... Like, can you shuffle for me? Then I'll cut. Like, I'm quite happy to do that for people as well. I do think people who target people who are slow shufflers or whatever, without that understanding, come off a bit cringe, to be honest. Like, there needs to be more respect for people in the community. At the end of the day, we're playing a children's card game. If you're going to start bullying people for how they shuffle, then, you know, I'm not the fastest shuffler. Like, look how I'm doing it. This is my fidget toy. Like, I have to, like, flatten them down each time. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, I do think if you do notice somebody not shuffling well, you can quite easily ask them something like, hey, is it, you know, are you not used to shuffling cards? Or do you need help with the shuffling? Do you want me to do it for you? Like, you can be polite. I mean, again, you also then have to hope the person you're asking is also understanding in the same way, because that also can come off a bit, you know, it's condescending, but, you know, respect and acceptance is a two-way street at the end of the day. I'm getting better at it. It's a steep slope. Yeah, I mean, like, when I first started playing, I was awful at shuffling, and even now I'm not great, but I'm definitely getting better.
I can catch up. Throw my car. Not aggressively, like clumsily.
Yeah.
Then it's a day, or if my hands don't.
Like I say, cold rooms and stuff like that are the absolute devil, aren't they? I don't need all of these, what am I doing? Immediately puts it on the wrong Pokemon. GG, Roo.
I didn't get good.
No, it's a weird one, because I think the Max Belt version has a much better time into your deck. The running Prime Catcher was a bit weird, but decent. Yeah, playing card games from a kid, shuffling is something I take for granted. Even if someone with cerebral palsy, I can shuffle at a reasonable pace. Yeah, because if you've been doing it for a long time, you get used to it, don't you? At the end of the day, I guess even with cerebral palsy and other disabilities like that, once you have the muscle memory for it, it gets easier, doesn't it? Like, it's same for me. I've only been playing actual card games for the last 2 years. And I've noticed how much better I've got at shuffling, but still, I've got a long way to go.